Non-compete clauses in general surgery contracts. Why the surgical version is more restrictive than you expect. A geographic non-compete in a general surgery contract is not the same as a non-compete in a primary care contract. The radius is wider, the network exclusion is broader, and the hospital privilege restriction that accompanies it can effectively end surgical practice in an entire metropolitan area. Understanding the surgical non-compete structure before you sign is not optional. There are two distinct restriction mechanisms in most surgical employment contracts. They are often presented as a single clause, but they function independently and each requires separate analysis. The first is the geographic radius restriction. This clause prohibits you from practicing general surgery within a specified distance of your primary practice location, typically expressed in miles, for a defined period after separation. For general surgery, geographic radii in employment contracts commonly range from 15 to 30 miles in urban and suburban markets, and can extend to 50 miles or more in rural areas. The 1-year to 2-year duration is standard. The legal enforceability of these clauses varies significantly by state. Some states prohibit physician non-competes by statute, others limit the permissible radius, and others enforce them in full. The second restriction, and the one most surgeons underestimate, is the hospital network exclusion. Many health system employment contracts contain language that prohibits you from practicing at any facility within the employing health system's network. In markets where a single health system owns 3 or 4 major hospitals, this restriction can effectively prohibit practice at every credentialing-required surgical facility in the metropolitan area. The geographic radius restriction measures distance in miles. The network exclusion measures restriction by facility ownership. In concentrated hospital markets, the network exclusion is the binding constraint. A third surgical-specific restriction is the operating room privilege bar. Some contracts include language that, upon separation, restricts or delays the physician's ability to obtain new privileges at a competing facility. Because surgical practice requires active hospital privileges to operate, this clause can create a gap of 60 to 90 days or more between the end of employment and the ability to perform surgery at a new location, a period of zero surgical revenue. 3 questions to answer before signing any general surgery non-compete. First, what is the exact radius, and does your state have statutory limits on physician non-compete enforcement? Second, does the restriction include hospital-level or system-level network exclusions? And how many facilities does the employer's network encompass within that radius? Third, is there a buyout provision? Some contracts allow the physician to exit the non-compete by paying a specified sum, often representing the employer's cost to recruit a replacement. If the non-compete is broad, a negotiated buyout provision at a defined price is significantly better than no exit mechanism at all. The non-compete clause is not a boilerplate administrative requirement. In general surgery, it is the clause that controls where you can work next. Run your contract through ClauseLine at ClauseLine.com.